ShredMentor Challenge of the Day, number 77. Today we're going to be running through octaves throughout the entire A minor scale. Here goes. Alright, so basically it's just going to require you to really know your octaves. Now, this isn't, if you don't already, this isn't really the first thing that you should tackle. Don't try to tackle the entire octave all at once. Just do a couple at a time. Well, a couple in a row. Okay, not at the same time, obviously. But ultimately, you're going to want to know what the octave looks like from the scale from each of the 7 modes. Because those are basically scales in their own right as well. You're going to need to know what the scale looks like from note 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So, again, don't take the whole thing on at once, just take on a couple at a time, 1 and 2, because they're next to each other. They share some notes. It's going to be the best place to start. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Okay? Think of your scale as a bunch of numbers rather than a bunch of letter names. Yes, those letter names are still there, but every minor scale is going to basically be the same shape on your fretboard, though. So you want to know where note 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the octave of 1 actually are within that shape. Because when you move to the second one, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. That's the octave of that. So just by doing that, you're going to share 2 and 3, 5 and 6, and the 1 on that next string between those two shapes. So different fingers are going to play it. They're going to be in a different location inside the shape, but you want to see those common notes so that you can kind of glue that knowledge together. Learn them by associating them to each other rather than just a bunch of separate things that just, you know, they're not unconnected, you know. So learn them in relation to each other. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I chose an octave, by the way, because it's 8 notes. Therefore, by repeating the first note again, I actually get an 8-beat phrase, so it's actually kind of friendly to rhythm. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you have to, just drill one of them for a while, because really being familiar with it is actually the thing that matters, not just having covered the ground. If you just cover the ground and don't absorb what you're doing, it's not worth anything. So remember, knowledge is actually what you've memorized. So if you have to keep looking at a diagram, you don't know it yet, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Think of these as locations. You have 3 notes here, 3 notes here, and 2 notes there. 1, 2, and 3 are on the lowest string. And I'm starting on my 6th string, by the way. This is a 7th string, so ignore this one. I'm not using it. I'm using A. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and A. All right, so 8 is just 1, by the way. It's the same thing. That's your octave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First step is just get this rhythm pattern happening. Accent 2, 3, 4. Accent 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. All right, that's the very first step, is just making that rhythm pattern happen. Because when you can do that, it's going to be very similar movements. The only thing that's really changing from this shape to this next shape is that I'm not using my ring finger for the middle note on the 2 lower strings. I'm actually using my middle finger, but I am still using it up here. This is Locrian. B Locrian. Once you've done that individually over and over again, you'll be able to more easily go back and forth between A Aeolian and B Locrian. 3, 4. Switching now. 3, 4. Gonna switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gonna switch up. G. I'm sorry. So used to E minor, I said G. C. Now you're doing whole step for 2 strings, moving your first finger up, and that is your 2 and 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. All right, from the minor perspective. This is also the C major scale from 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. All right, but sticking with the A minor scale context, this is 3. C, 3, right? 1, 2, 3, or sorry, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. You want to kind of commit these movements to motor memory. What's neat is, out of 3, 3, and 2 notes, your accent's always going to start here, and it's also going to be in the middle note, wherever that happens to be, on that next string. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I would do at that point, once you've covered just 3 shapes, now start to just cover 3 different shapes back and forth. The entire scale can wait for another day, all right? Get really used to all 3 shapes in a row. Basically, shape 2 and both of its 2 surrounding shapes. Because that is going to be infinitely more valuable than covering all 7 of them badly. Okay? All right, one more time then. 1, mode 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. All right, and notice at the very end of that, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 with the ring finger, let go, slide back and do it with the first finger. That way it gives me a new sounding version. I could have just done that. It's just a little bit less interesting than the little swoop in that comes from the sliding technique on that one. So it's just a little stylistic thing that I like to add to things and make the last note sound more interesting. But obviously this is a fretboard lesson today, but really take on 3 modes at a time. So 1, 2, and 3 today, 2, 3, and 4 tomorrow. That way 2 and 3 are actually still familiar from the previous day. 3, 4, and 5, 4, 5, and 6, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, and 1, and then also 7, 1, and 2. Make sure you cover every possible mode plus its 2 neighboring modes. That will give you such a more valuable piece of fretboard knowledge than just covering all 7 of them, sort of. You know, throwing in bad notes, knowing you did something wrong but not sure what. Pay more attention, spend more quality time with each mode. And I'll see you again tomorrow.